Rundown from WUFT News, exploring our community from top to bottom. I'm Kristen Shermont-Spina. Coming up on the show, AI is everywhere now, but some experts are especially concerned about its use in political campaigns. And later, we'll hear from the organizer of an unusual charity event in Cedar Key, the annual Shark Swim. But first, it's something the students call Homeless Week. Every college student who stayed over the summer now has to move out. Where? Seemingly anywhere but here. Some go home, some couch surf, some consider living in their cars. It turns out that students aren't offered standard 12-month leases all the time. Instead, apartment complexes and landlords make students leave for about 2 weeks so they can clean. In this story from WUFT's Anya Pinello from 2024, she talked to affected students and discovered why it's not likely to change anytime soon.
August Mallows is trying to squeeze everything he owns into his car.
There's stuff all over, stuff from every part of your life.
There's a vacuum cleaner, kitchen utensils, a whiteboard.
Oh, and a memory foam mattress. Those are tough to pack because they expand. They're very greedy for space.
Mallows is a senior at the University of Florida. Every year, students like him who stick around for the summer have to move out of their apartments mid-semester. Property managers come in, clean up the place, and get everything ready for the start of the fall semester when all of the students come back. But it leaves summer students without a place to stay. And we're not talking about a long weekend. This is for a good week or two.
Leaves a lot of people without an option for a roof over their head, essentially.
The choices are limited. A friend's couch, their parents' house, maybe an Airbnb or a hotel if they can afford it. Mallows is staying with friends and family.
But if I didn't have that option, I would have had to live in my car. I would have had to sleep next to my mattress somewhere, like a Walmart parking lot. I'm not even really sure.
This has been happening in college towns across the U.S. for years, and Gainesville is no exception. Because there are so many students here, it's easier for property managers to set aside a full-on cleaning period than it is to coordinate move-outs with each student. And because the rental market here revolves around the school year, they need to get these properties cleaned out now. April Strickland is the owner and broker of Golden Rule Real Estate. She says the amount of work involved in turning these homes around is epic. In fact, the industry has a name for it, Turn Week.
Depending on what has to be done, we will have painters work through the night. I have worked through the night. I have slept on my office floor a number of nights before.
Strickland does a walkthrough of a house that was rented out by 2 college students. She estimates it's one of 10,000 properties in Gainesville that'll have to get fully cleaned in just 2 weeks. And this one, it's not in the best of shape. There are tiny dead bugs in the freezer, the hallway door has fallen off its hinges, and it smells like pee.
So essentially what I'm seeing is yellow staining down the entire baseboard where urine has dripped down the wall, down to the baseboards, onto the carpet, and it's actually eaten away the paint in some areas because urine's very acidic.
Not all the homes are this bad, Strickland says, but it's still tough. She has her own name for it, Turnpocalypse.
I would love to figure out a way that we don't have to do all this in a mad dash because it is hard. It is punishing. It is brutal at times.
Strickland guesses it'll take at least 7 days to get this house fully cleaned. She says there's just no way to do it without this cleaning period. While that may be understandable to some, it's little consolation for students like Emma Forrester.
Basically, the lease ends on July 28th, but we still have classes till August 9th. So
she's a junior at UF. When I spoke to her in July, I found her studying, packing, and getting ready for finals. For Homeless Week, she considered sleeping in her car, but her parents talked her out of it. Instead, she'll be staying at a friend's house with 3 other people who are all going through the same thing.
It's very stressful to move all your stuff out and find a place and then be living with all these people. Your routines get mixed up, and it's just, it's a lot.
But she's trying to look on the bright side. She tells herself she can make it. It's just 2 weeks, even if it means students like her might have to do it all over again next year. Anya Pinello, WUFT News.
If you're just joining us, this is The Rundown from WUFT News. I'm Kristen Shermont-Spina. Florida has a lot of stories to tell. Do you know your community's history? It's time for a trivia question. Florida has had 46 governors in its time as a U.S. state. Wayne Mixon served the shortest term of all of them. How long did he serve? Stay tuned to the end of the show for the answer. Well, artificial intelligence is seemingly everywhere, but a particularly concerning area where it's gaining traction is in political campaigns. As Megan Bowman reports, experts say you'll need to become a fact checker yourself this election season.
Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins recently reshared a video on X that slammed gubernatorial candidate Byron Donalds for supporting data centers. The thing is, the video he shared was AI generated. It shows Collins dressed as the Marvel superhero Captain America, knocking out data centers, abortion clinics, and Donalds. But that's what most of social media is today. A recent study from the Media and Journalism Research Center analyzed 40,000 posts from LinkedIn and Facebook and found 90% of them were either mostly or entirely AI generated. When you open a social media app on your phone, you're immediately using AI. The algorithms working in the background use artificial intelligence to pick out what it thinks you'll want to watch. Alex Mahadavan, the director of MediaWise at the Poynter Institute, says it was easier to spot this type of content a few years ago.
Now it is becoming essentially impossible to tell the difference between an AI-generated deepfake of a politician or an actual video of that politician speaking.
And it's raising alarm bells for him.
I am very concerned about the information ecosystem right now, about the state of social media. All they're seeing is AI or rage bait.
Mahadavan teaches AI literacy. He says as it gets harder to figure out what's real, viewers must double-check everything they see and hear. Joshua Scacco agrees. He leads the Center for Sustainable Democracy at the University of South Florida. He says the classic negative attack ad is nothing new, like when candidates take opponents' words out of context or highlight their slip-ups.
They can create essentially a false moment and market it as if it had happened.
Florida law requires AI-generated content that is knowingly false, intended to harm candidates or deceive voters, to include a disclaimer saying it was created by AI. The video Collins shared does not have one. But Scacco says while the law gives the illusion of transparency, it doesn't help people understand the technology's capabilities or identify which parts of the ad used AI. He says campaign ads were the original spreaders of disinformation before social media.
Part of that is free speech capability, which is that free speech covers falsehoods. What AI does is it puts it on steroids, and it makes it a lot easier to do many of these things.
A new study from the Pew Research Center found half of adult Americans say the uptick in artificial intelligence is concerning. Marvin Pazos Revilla, a USF cybersecurity expert, says there needs to be tighter restrictions in the law.
At this point, it's advancing so rapidly that it's hard to not have loopholes.
And that's including campaigning. Revilla says it's important for people to know what's real and what's not. But it can be hard when short clips get posted and shared so quickly on social media. Remember the saying, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, then it's probably a duck? Well, that's not the case with AI. Alex Mahadavan says if something seems too good to be true, perfectly aligns with your beliefs, or you agree 100% with it, chances are it's not real. But he says there are some ways to help you swim through the slop.
Open that image and zoom all the way in. You can look for inconsistencies in like the horizon. Maybe a road disappears where it's not supposed to, or you can zoom really, really close into someone's buttons. And maybe that button has like 3 holes and then the other ones have 4 holes.
You can also do a reverse image search on Google or other applications to see where the picture originated, or just use common sense when watching ads like the one Collins posted. Collins did not respond to a request for comment. I'm Megan Bowman in Tampa.
This is the rundown from WUFT News. I'm Kristen Shermont-Spina. Coming up later in the show, we'll hear another edition of our award-winning series, Uncelebrated. That's after the break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the rundown. I'm Kristen Shermont-Spina. During the slow summer months, we've been re-airing our now award-winning series from late last year called Uncelebrated. These are stories about people who fly under the radar but keep the world turning. The Public Media Journalists Association named it the best student program in America in 2026. So we thought we'd like to visit that series again this summer. On this week's segment, we'll have this story of the rideshare driver.
We hit. There we go. So we got to turn back around. My name is Jacqueline King. I am 59 years old. My occupation is Uber driver, Lyft driver, Instacart. I do all of it. Where you from, girl? What part? Pro Club. Yes, I'm from upstate Rochester. Oh, wow. Yeah, so you already know. What got me into it? I couldn't find employment. I relocated back to Gainesville from New York, and it was taking too long for people to pull my resume and interview me. So I decided, let's do this. It's something different. I like customer-based services, etc. So this was it. David? Hi, David, come on. Generally, the person would say hello and say my name, Jacqueline. I say, yes, I'm Jacqueline, and I will repeat their name. And I will also repeat the address where they're going, because occasionally I have taken people to the address and it wasn't the address. Some people are moody. Some people are very vocal, like to use a lot of profanity. I really don't care for that. But hey, I look at the timer, they're in my car for 8 minutes. I'm going to get them out in 6. I have had people get in the car sick, which is on a whole nother level, because you have to deal with the stank for the next couple of weeks, not days. You have to get your car professionally cleaned, and they do pay for it. Hi, Anna. How you doing? I have had people in my car with suicidal ideations. Fortunately, because I am a counselor, I can use my skills to talk to them and to listen. Most importantly is to listen to people when they are communicating. Because a lot of people don't want feedback. A lot of people just want someone just to listen, you know? And I feel like the best listener is someone that doesn't know you. They can't be critical. They can't pass judgment. All they're going to do is listen. And that's what I do. Yeah, it was a lovely, yesterday it was just raining. But it was good. We needed that cool down. Definitely. I'm not from here, so I'm not. I've been doing it for 1 year. I did not foresee that. I saw myself doing Ubering for at least a month or 2 to get employment. That didn't happen. And then when I saw how much money I was making with Ubering, and I'm looking at the job I'm applying for, I'm like, oh, nah, I could do Ubering. Because 1, I make my own hours. 2, I can sleep as long as I want to sleep, go where I want to go, and I could work anywhere in the state of Florida. So if I decide I want to go down to West Palm Beach, hang out with some family down there, guess what? In between meeting them, I can do some pickups. Well, I need $50. You know, do a couple of rides and I'm done. So I did not foresee Uber. I did not foresee it, period, in my life. I didn't see me doing any of this. So I slide this, the ride is finished.
That was rideshare driver Jacqueline King. Her story is part of our series Uncelebrated, People Who Fly Under the Radar Yet Help Our World Turn. This story was produced by WUFT's Gabriel Velasquez-Neda. We are in the dog days of summer now, and I don't blame you if you want to avoid going outside as much as possible. To beat the heat, some of us are opting to catch up on our favorite television shows. Earlier this summer, WUFT's Samantha Viteri went to Turlington Plaza at the University of Florida to ask people, what series are you absolutely watching this summer and why?
Hi, my name is Avery Gowen. I would probably say The Summer I Turned Pretty. You have to rewatch it every single summer. It's 2 mothers who have kids, and they're best friends, so their kids all grow up going to the same house. I want to say it's in Connecticut. And then one of their daughters falls in love with their son, but then another son's also in love with them, so it's just like such a feel-good summer show.
Has something like that ever happened to you? Like, is this a relatable show, or is this just something that you picked up and couldn't put back down?
Not relatable, I wish, but it was a book that I read that then became a TV show.
Hi, my name is Zach Lark. If Love Island's on, probably Love Island, Australia.
I don't think I've ever watched Love Island Australia. Is it different than like US or UK?
Oh, well, that's just where I'm from, and like I used to watch it growing up, so.
Have you ever had an experience where you're watching Love Island and it's someone that you know on it?
Nah, I haven't watched it knowing some person, but afterwards I've seen like people like out at bars and stuff that have been on the show yet.
Hi, my name is Emma Belancis. I'm for sure watching The Boys in the Boat.
What is that? I've never heard that before.
It's about these boys that are novice rowers that never rowed before, but they end up going to the Olympics, the 1936 one, I think. I watched it last year, but I like to rewatch it because it was really good.
Did anyone show you that movie, or did you get into it yourself?
My dad showed me before I came to UF last year, and I just really liked it.
Does he row? Or is that just something that he was interested in?
No, we kind of found it like when we were searching through Amazon, and then it got me into rowing, which I do this year.
My name is Jackson Christie. I've been watching currently The Sopranos. Have you seen that at all?
I have seen it. Why Sopranos? It's kind of older.
It's like a groundbreaking show and like has good character stuff.
It's very, mafia, mob life. Like, what got you into movies or shows that are like that?
The acting is really good. It's like very like, I can't even believe like being an actor and that like how engrossed you have to be to do some things they did.
The last season of the show is fantastic. I love Sopranos.
Really?
It's great. The last episode of the last season is insane, and I'm very excited for you to get to it.
Hi, my name is Anthony Perez. Can I get some options?
I heard some stuff about beef.
I did see that one. The second season came out on Netflix. I watched the first one like when it first came out, and that was really good. So
I don't really know what beef is about. Can you explain it to me?
These two people basically have beef because they were about to get into like a car accident, and then like a whole like storyline develops just from like those two people and like one simple like incident.
Those responses are from UF students on the series they are planning to watch this summer. It was produced by WUFT's Samantha Viteri. If you're just joining us, this is the rundown from WUFT News. I'm Kristen Shermont-Spina. As a reminder, our trivia question this week: Florida has had 46 governors in its time as a U.S. state. Wayne Mixon served the shortest term of all of them. How long did he serve? The answer's coming up at the end of the show. That's after a quick break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to The Rundown. I'm Kristen Shermont-Spina. Here's a question. Would you ever willingly swim with sharks? What if it was for a good cause? Well, if you answered yes, you're in luck. The 5th annual Cedar Key Shark Swim is this Saturday at noon. WUFT's Sue Wagner spoke with event coordinator, author, playwright, and self-proclaimed clam-ambassador Michael Presley Bobbitt. He explained the yearly cultural event is educational, a benefit for the Cedar Key School, and a time for costumes, floats, and silly fellowship.
It's one of the great things that we do on the island. It's become a real cultural event. We have the smallest public school in Florida on the island. We routinely graduate about 10 kids a year. And for a school that size, we're always facing budget shortfalls. So the community really gets together and throughout the year tries to find ways to raise money for the school. And one day I was sitting at one of the Dock Street restaurants with the mayor at the time, Heath Davis. And I said, hey, you ever swam across over to Seniota there? And he goes, when I was a kid, I did. And it used to be a rite of passage up through the 1960s that when you turned 10 years old, you had to swim across the channel to be a real Cedar Key person. And I said, man, we need to do that again. I said, we should do that now and raise money and give it to the school. And he's like, oh, man, what an idea. And it's just taken off. It is only 0.42 miles. But it's a little bit challenging. It's open water. You're going across the channel. And there are a handful of folks that come every year to try to win. But the vast majority of the participants are on shark floats. Or they got floaties, or they're riding pool noodles, and they dress up in elaborate costumes. And it's just a really fun time.
Are sharks actually involved in this swim?
Well, yeah. If you're here's how you know if there's sharks in the water in Florida. If the water's salty, there's sharks, and if it's wet and it's not salty, they're alligators. So the Cedar Key mascot of our school, they're the Cedar Key Sharks. So our little tagline for the swim is "Swim with the sharks for the sharks." But you will absolutely be swimming amongst an absolute busload of sharks. They're everywhere.
And funds from this event go directly to school, whatever needs they might.
Sure, 100% of the proceeds go right to the school. And we every year we pick out a new thing. This last year, a good portion of the money went to designating the school, the historic school building, as part of a national historic place. So we got a marker, which is great, but it also protects the building from being redeveloped. So we're constantly fighting to keep the school. So we're doing all the tricks we can. We often like to fund the aquaculture club or program at the school to help the next round of oystermen and the next round of clam farmers to learn what we do. 2 years ago, I was able to fund the Young Readers Program, was able to fund their budget for several years. And then sometimes we have money to fund scholarships. So it just, whatever the need is, we send the money their way.
I've seen pictures, and it's absolutely hilarious.
Oh, it is so fun. The number of shark floaties or unicorn boats, and we say you can bring anything that doesn't have a motor on it. So, there are a handful of folks trying to win, but most folks are there just to try to see if they can make it across. And we've not really ever lost anyone. 2 years ago, my best buddy's wife and daughter were on a giant unicorn float, and the unicorn was so big, the head and tail of the unicorn acted like a sail, and it carried them past our safety boats. And thankfully, a fishing charter captain saw them heading toward Crystal River and got them. But we promised to keep a watch on you. We have safety boats lining the course. Most of them are clam boats, so there's no stern on the back, so you can literally just swim right up onto the boat. The Coast Guard comes, FWC comes. It's just a really magical time. And we block off about 3 blocks of the town there, and we'd have an all-day block party with live music and food, and it's just a wonderful time. And clams. You can't come to Cedar Key and not find clams.
That was Michael Presley Bobbitt speaking with WUFT's Sue Wagner about this Saturday's Cedar Key Shark Swim. You can hear their full conversation at wuft.org/tellmeaboutit. The Rundown is a production of WUFT News out of the University of Florida College of Journalism and Communications. The team that made the show possible this week includes Dave Bearswain, Dana Hill, Anya Pinello, Megan Bowman, Gabriel Velasquez-Nera, Samantha Viteri, Ailey Shanes, and Sue Wagner. Our trivia question this week was, Florida has had 46 governors in its time as a U.S. state. Wayne Mixon served the shortest term of all of them. How long did he serve? The answer? 3 days. He served from January 3rd to January 6th, 1987. Those were the last remaining days of Governor Bob Graham's term after he resigned to become a U.S. Senator. That's it for the Rundown. I'm Kristen Shermont Spina.